Welcome back to the Kingdom Vibes TV. This your boy DJ Council, your host, and to my left to your right is a gospel recording artist, man. He's almost a legend in his own right. Mr. Reubin Hights, welcome to Kingdom Vibes TV.
Bless the DJ.
Look like he's star. Reubin, man, we have this awesome video we received, man, from you. I see you getting ready. I don't know. I've been hearing this little talk in a little while now. You come up with a new album.
Yes, new album's on the way. Definitely stay tuned for that. Almost completed. Still got about 3 more songs to record, but you know, we're just taking our time, making sure we go through all the right ropes to try push this album and make sure the world gets to experience what God has given me as a gift.
Right now we're going to Mr. Reubin's latest video. What's the concept of this song? What's the meaning? Where this came from?
Well, this came from out of a testimony actually in my life. As you know, I've been in music for some 15 years now, you know, and there was a point in my life where a lot of changes happened. You know, you started to grow with your family, marriage, kids and stuff like that. But, you know, I kind of digressed with music, and, you know, one day I felt kind of bad about it because I'm like, God, it seems like I'm putting your gift on the back burner, you know, and he just told me to just rise out of any situation that I'm in, rise out of whatever I'm going through, and just continue to do what he's calling me to do. And that's where we came up with the concept Rise Up. And I'm pretty sure plenty of people go through that slum in their life where God has given them a gift for talent, and they just decided that, you know what, I'm scared, I'm not going to do this anymore because I don't see nothing happening in my life right now. So I just want to encourage all the young people just to rise up, and that's what the concept of this song and this video came about.
Wow. Now we go into the video, brand new release here by Reubin Hights, Rise. And right after we finish with the video, we had a special interview. Kingdom Vibes TV went down to the Ministry of Immigration and met with Minister Fred Mitchell, and we had a good talk concerning immigration. There's been some changes, some new laws coming into place and so forth. You're gonna hear it straight from the horse's mouth, like the saying says.
Yeah. Rise, my people. Let me tell you, sleep is for the sluggard, slumber for the wicked. Yo, me tell you, rise up. Oh, you better give it all you got. No, you can't give up. No, yo, me tell you. Streets out there, ready you them bloody. You have to focus on your goals. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't mind how life look down the road. It's not always what it seems. How can you go wrong if you trust and believe in the Most High Jah? He promised he will never leave. Get to you, me say. Stand up and find purpose today. Because you're wise up, me tell you, wise up, right away. Wise up, oh, you better give it all you got. up. No, you can't give up. On a better rise up. Winning is a must. No, we can't fail. It's just a rise up. Oh, you better give it all you got. No, you can't give up. No, you me tell you rise up. Girl, you better give it all you got. No, you can't give up. No.
Rise up, give it all you got. Rise up, give it all you got.
Can you explain the new immigration policy?
We announced that there was such a significant pushback from the Bahamian population at large about illegal migration that some additional steps had to be taken to prevent illegal migration to this country. One of which was people were coming here on boats, jumping off the boat, finding a friendly employer, and that employer would then go and apply for a work permit and give the person status. As long as that existed, that gave an incentive for people who wanted to come here illegally to simply come to the Bahamas, find a friendly employer, and then get regularized. We've plugged that hole by saying that anyone who wants to apply for a work permit in this country has to have legal status in the Bahamas. And if you don't have legal status in the Bahamas, you can't apply, and you must apply in your home country. And that came into force on the 1st of November. It was announced something like 6 months or so before that, and it came into force on the 1st of November, and that's the rule. Secondly, and more importantly, everyone in the country must have, who is not a Bahamian, must have the passport of their nationality. And that is regardless of whether you're born here or you're not born here. You have to have a passport of your nationality. And so those are the two rules. They've been working quite well because most people are complying. The enforcement has been pretty strict. And the additional matter that was announced was to remind people that as of the start of the school year, you would be required to show that you had legal status to be in the Bahamas in order to get into school. And the Ministry of Education is allowing people 90 days from the time of the start of the school year to get their paperwork in order if they don't have it at the start of the school year. So that, broadly speaking, is what the policy is.
Has the Ministry of Education reported a decrease of immigrant children not returning since the summer break, since the new immigration initiative has kicked off?
Well, I think the Ministry of Education is checking the stats now. There was some suggestion that there may have been less registration than there was previously, but I think they're still checking the stats on that. But generally speaking, the community complies. The fact is that there's no country in the world that you can just go to and just stay there without a status. And this mistaken belief, which that people have, that because you're born here, that you're a citizen of the Bahamas and it gives you a status, that is certainly not true. It's false, and people have to comply with the regulations and the law for all kinds of reasons, amongst them being security.
Should Bahamians be concerned about being the minority in the Bahamas very soon?
I think that the jury's still out on what the stats are, but clearly the Bahamian public is agitated about that possibility. And as a government, we've tried to respond to it by saying that part of the reason why we are strictly enforcing this is to be sure that the cultural identity of the country is protected. There's no question that people are concerned about it, sensitive to it, and we are as well. And again, the cultural is one thing, but there's also the national security of the country, because you've got to know who's here, what their antecedents are. All of that has to do with the safety and security of our country.
Dominican Republic found themselves in a dilemma concerning illegal immigrants from Haiti that forced the government to change their constitution because of how overwhelming illegal migration became.
Well, the problems of the Dominican Republic and the Bahamas are similar, but not the same. clearly they had a large migration problem, and of course they have a land border, so it's much more difficult to police than us. With to breach much more, it's much easier to breach a land border than it is to breach a marine border. The marine border is quite difficult to do. What is important is to see the distinction. In the Dominican Republic, people who had citizenship of the Dominican Republic had their citizenship taken away from them. That is not what this exercise is about in the Bahamas. What we are saying is people who are here unlawfully must conform with the law. And if they do not, then they are going to be repatriated. And the Haitian government, the Haitian people have no issue with that at all. They realize that migrants must come to the country lawfully. And if, this is not a difficult country to migrate to lawfully. That's the point. If you want to migrate here lawfully, you follow the rules, you can migrate here lawfully. What you can't do, what you won't allow to be done is to breach the borders unlawfully, and you'll be sent back home. And to the extent of our resources, it's a very expensive exercise to carry out. We have vast islands. The water is difficult to police. But to the extent of our resources, that's what we're going to do. Crack down on this hard, and anybody who is not lawfully here has to go home.
Many citizens are being concerned since police cars are being damaged a few times in shanty towns. Many feel that our armed forces are afraid to tackle what seems to be an ongoing problem.
Defense force and immigration have all the necessary power, authority, and law behind them and regulations to use whatever manpower and firepower they require to bring law and order in any area that they go into. It's a matter of judgment for them how they exercise that. And what you certainly don't want, particularly in a place where the worst people are doing are throwing stones, is you don't want to respond by firing guns and killing masses of people, because then the end is worse than the start. So people have to be smart how you deal with this. What I've said, for example, to immigration officers, the young ones who've just come on, that we don't want them to get killed in the process of trying to stop migration. Migration is not normally something which requires firepower to enforce. So any migrant who tries to run away, let them go. Do not kill yourself trying to do it, because you'll always find them. You can get them. There are mechanisms and ways to do that. Having said that, and we've had occasions, you mentioned Reubin Hights in particular, and we've had situations in Abaco where lawful authorities of the Bahamas government have gone into neighborhoods and have had to retreat in the face of people pelting them with rocks and so on and so forth. So what I said is iron will meet iron in those circumstances, and the Minister of the Environment is in the process now of moving to disassemble that particular shanty town within short order, because it's become a total nuisance. During the Abaco exercises, we got intelligence that it was being used as a sink for people who were running away from Abaco to come to New Providence, because their argument was it was a no-go zone. My view is there's no no-go zone. I've told immigration to go in there, clean the place up, work with the Department of Environment, the Defense Force, and the police to make sure that the place is cleaned up, and that's what we intend to do.
Mr. Moore said he is running Bahamians with Haitian roots to run in the next general election. Is it a concern for the PLP? What are your thoughts?
Well, I don't believe that people make their election preferences on those sorts of things. There are two major parties in this country, PLP, F&M. In my view, those are the only two that have any chance or opportunity of gaining political power in this country in the next general election. As for people with ethnic distinctions or backgrounds, I keep saying to people, the first member of parliament in this country who was a man of color was Haitian. A man is named Stephen Dillett. There's a school named after him. So this is nothing new that people who are migrants come from outside the country and are able to assimilate and integrate and become leaders in our country. I keep saying, the mother of the Governor General, Sir Arthur Folkes, was Haitian. So he served in the House of Assembly. So, this is, again, nothing new. Mr. Pindling, Sir Lyndon Pindling, his father was Jamaican. and he served as the first and founding prime minister of the country. The question is, do you come here lawfully? Are you assimilated into the country? Have you integrated into the country? You know, we are, in fact, a country of immigrants to some extent. And half the cabinet of 1967, one of their parents came from someplace in the Caribbean. So, you know, this is nothing new. What we have to be concerned about, however, is people using this for reasons other than honest reasons. And so anyone who is appealing in my view, on that basis should be deplored, and they should be very careful because they're riding a tiger, which they cannot tame once you start that. And our policies, both the centrist parties have tried to tamp down any idea of ethnic, racial, or strife on the basis of national origin. That is not what this is about. We want a country where people have certain values and they support those values. We do not believe in violence, and we will put an end, to the extent that we can, to anyone who is trying to drive a wedge in the population on that basis. So it's most unwise to go in that direction. And, you know, I think that, as I said when I started, only two parties, in my view, can make it: PLP, F&M. Those are the choices, and I'm sure none of those will be dealing with that on that basis.
What are your comments to your critics who have a problem, as you know, you being Minister of Immigration, your travels and etc.? You know, what is your response to them?
Well, they have to make hay, you know, out of what they can. It doesn't have any traction. It's just basically stuff which is being said as an annoyance, really. You know, I don't really pay much attention to it. I don't think the public at large pays much attention to it. The fact is the results. People in this country, in my view, only care about foreign affairs when their passport expires, you know, and we have great difficulties in the passport office now. That I consider a serious political problem. You know, when people have to go down there with their children all day and can't get a passport for 12 weeks is really disgraceful, and should not have been allowed to have gotten to that point. And so that's a political problem for me, trying to get that resolved. And we've got new leadership in there. We've brought in a man who's a superintendent of the police called Clarence Russell, who's just taken over the operation. And I hope with his management training and his skills, together with the new equipment that we're buying and the new software design and all those things, that within 6 to 8 months you'll see significant improvement in the way the passports are distributed and provided to the public. And that, I think, is what Bahamians are concerned about.
What can concerned citizens do to contribute positively to our immigration problem?
Basically to stick by the law and to support the integrity of this country, because the integrity can be undermined by unlawful activity. You know, the fact is, the intelligence coming in is, for example, these ships are being directed by cell phone from the time they leave Haiti. People in the Bahamas are telling them, don't come here, don't go there, so on and so forth. No doubt they must have, there was a time, for example, when the detention center was filled to capacity. And so we had to stop our operations on land because we couldn't supply humane conditions to the center and had to stop. Well, the same way we know that, the smugglers know that. And once the smugglers know that, then what do you think happens? They start driving people in here. So the question is, all of our systems, including the finances that are provided for us to carry out our operations, all of those things have to be done on a timely basis, and everybody has to be on the same page in order to keep at this. This is a war we're in, and we have to fight it as if we are prosecuting a war. And people go wobbly because of, you know, my girlfriend, my this, my that, you know, and so on and so forth. But you have to be very strict if we're going to surmount this problem. And so that's what I would say to them. I've been encouraged by going around and seeing the community spirit which exists. I know the communities in Exuma, Abaco, Bimini are very exercised about this, certainly here in New Providence. And I keep trying to tell people it's a problem we can manage. We can't stop it, because as long as we have an economy which is better off than the economy of Haiti, people are going to want to come here, and they're going to come here unlawfully. But we can manage this problem with the application of resources and manpower.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Rise, my people. Let me tell you, sleep is for the sluggard, slumber for the wicked. Yo, me tell you, rise up. Oh, you better give it all you got. No, you can't give up, no. Yo, me tell you, rise up. Girl, you better give it all you got. No, you can't give up, no. So me say, struggle is real out there. And there's so many worries in all the streets out there. Ready, you them bloody. You have to focus on your goals. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't mind a life, look down the road. It's not always what it seems. How can you go wrong if you trust and believe in the Most High Jah? He promised he will never leave. Get to you, me say. Stand up and find purpose today. Because you're intelligent. Wise up, me tell you, wise up right away. Wise up. Oh, you better give it all you got. No, you can't give up, no. You me tell you, rise up. Girl, you better give it all you got. No, you can't.
Welcome back here to Kingdom Vibes TV. It's your boy Council alongside Reubin Hights, and you guys saw the video. It's awesome. It's nice. Good job, bro. Good job.
Bless.
Good job. International look, man. 242 to the world.
Yes.
And of course, you got to hear Minister Mitchell address certain things concerning immigration and so forth. And right now, we're gonna close up our show just talking about Reubin future prospects and moving forward with his ministry wise. You know, he's been doing some traveling now. What's the relationship going on with Monty and LOJ? You know, what's going on, Reubin? This album getting ready to drop now. Before that, what you been doing for the past few months here, 2015?
Well, I've just been taking a leap of faith, and of course, the relationship with Lionel Judah and Monty G, that's bona fides for life, my brothers. You know what I mean? I grew up through the ministry of Lionel Judah and under the leadership of Monty G, so we still got a close-knit relationship. I'm actually in partnership with DJ Frost and Lyrically Blessed. We opened up a brand new studio called Perfect Blend Studios earlier part this year. And of course I started my sound company called More Heights Sound and Production Company. So I'm just out there just taking a leap of faith, just trusting in God wholeheartedly, and of course working on the brand new album, taking my time. And trust you me, it is a work in progress because, you know, I've surrounded myself with a bunch of young fellas. At earlier part, it was me being the young fella in the crew. Now I'm surrounding myself with a bunch of young fellas, you know what I mean, just to get their insight on what's happening with the young people in our society. These are some young fellas who are on fire for God, you know what I mean. Shout out to them. Make Jesus Famous crew. Big shout outs to Iman, Johnny B. Can't forget
the Christ Gang.
Christ Gang, yeah. So big shout out to them. You know, they revive your energy, man. You know, and it always, we just have a love for God and we just have a love for music and just trying to encourage young people through music. Even the older folks who are discouraged, I got a few songs on the album for them as well. And the album is entitled Sevenfold, because you know we normally go by the twofold blessing.
Right.
But God want to bless us
Sevenfold.
7 times 7. You understand? Just as much as we forgive each other, that's as much He's gonna bless us. So it's definitely on the way. And trust you me, DJ Frost, actually DJ Elevator did some work on the album as well. So big shout outs to him.
Elevator's the guy that did a lot of stuff for
Lyrically Blessed.
Worship You, and
I'm still here. The majority of stuff you heard from Lyrically Blessed is done from DJ Elevator, aka Bahamian born, aka Lauren, aka eat everything out of your refrigerator.
Bro, we really appreciate you stopping by.
No
here
problem,
today, man.
anytime,
You know what I'm saying?
man.
We're closing off again with Reubin's video. If you missed it in the first segment of Kingdom Vibes TV, definitely rise. It's your boy DJ Counselor. And remember this, man. You want to see the change, you got to first be the change. We got to initiate the change. It's called leadership. Stop looking for others to initiate and do things when you're probably called to do it. You won't know till you make that leap of faith like Dr. Reubin right here. Boom. Blessed love every time. DJ Counselor. Also
Yes.
godly.